Andrew Martinez, after having a pretty decent game, ended up with an own goal beside his name. Coach, I've seen a lot of panic from United fans. They say that this is almost desperation time in terms of, one, the problems that need fixing with the team, the rate at which these problems are being fixed, and basically getting players to understand the coach's way of doing his things this season.
Look, United problem is both from the board, I mean the owners of the club, down to Mehta and Arnold, the chief executives, and then Ten Hag himself. Look, I support Ten Hag. No two ways about that. But this week, he's spoken like a Glazer puppet. Somebody who is now in bed with the Glazers.
He's beginning to speak their language.
Like the Solskjaer-like Glazer puppet.
How so?
You go to a press conference and you are asked, and you say you are satisfied.
Yeah. He said his midfield was fine.
It's absolutely not true. What is McTominay still doing in this team? Maguire, Henderson, Williams, Van der Beek, Eribayi. These are all players who should be contributing to this team. But because they are not up to the standard, this coach have told them, I don't want these guys around.
So United have to sell these guys to bring in
and
new
bring
players.
in quality players. Now, before I look at the game itself, you've had a deal with Amrabat wrapped up for more than, since June, since the beginning of June. Amrabat should have been the first player Man United should have bought. Because the problem from last season was simple. If you don't get somebody to help Carlos Casemiro, United were simply going to suffer. Because Eriksen did show throughout the season that, again, he's a number 10 and not a number 8. In the modern game, every number 8 now of late is a ball winner, as well as technically an offensive player. So if you have somebody playing alongside a number 6, that person's role is not only to go forward, but it's also supposed to contribute defensively to. And Ten Hag clearly mentioned that last season. Hence, the move to go and get Amrabat. As we speak, as to why Amrabat is still not in this team, only the Glazers can tell. My Manchester United is being told that you need to sell players before you can buy. Come on. They've always been cash. This team has never lacked money.
New owners, old owners, they've always been money.
That aside, now let's go to the game itself. If you look at that first half performance, if United had a proper number 9 in there, United would have taken the lead. A natural goal scorer. Rashford will score goals. Don't get me wrong. But Rashford will not score goals when he's playing as a number 9 that often. If you put him out wide, left, he will score goals. Now, the young man, Garnacho, is still a young man. You know my stand on him. He's a super player, but he's too young to be given the burden to come to the rescue of Manchester United. Tactically, there is Onana. No doubt he's by far one of the best in the business. If you look at Onana's performance yesterday, there was nothing he could do for any of those two goals. But look at his handling. Look at his box control. Look at his passing ability. Yesterday, there were 2 passes and we're all like, ooh la la, where does this come from? And I told him, come on, this is why he's been brought in there. Even the commentators could admit to that fact that, wow, this guy is truly very talented. Casemiro as a number 6 is doing 2 man's job. He's playing as a DM and he's playing as a number 8 who should be battling the ball. Most people are talking about Mason Mount not having good games. I agree. His first 2 games have not been the best. I don't blame him for that. I think it is because this team is not properly balanced. That is where I blame Ten Hag. Because you should be telling the owners, you should stop speaking like a Glazer puppet and be telling the Glazers The guy who ties the hair behind his head, who I'm told is the one who makes the
Avram
decision.
Glazer.
When he speaks is final among the Glazers.
Yeah,
you should be telling him that with this team, look, last year, Liverpool was very poor. Chelsea, very poor. Will they be poor again this season? I don't think so. So in addition to they not being poor, they not being very poor, Newcastle, Arsenal, Spurs, Man City, Brighton, United. Look, if you
even Tottenham are looking to have a comeback season.
If you don't do your things well, you will suffer. United will come good. I have no problem with that. Because just as they did last year, you remember last season, after the first 2 games, then Casemiro came, then Anthony came, then there were panic buys. We are hearing that Amrabat most likely by Tuesday will be done. Then I heard something about variety. You don't need variety. Go to Everton, go and get Onana. One thing that you don't have is that physical presence. That is what
Verratti is cast in the mode of Eriksen.
Even Mason Mount he's old, he's injury prone and all that. You don't need Verratti. Let him go to Saudi Arabia. They're after him. Let him go there. Go get Onana. Can you imagine a midfield of Onana, Amrabat, and Casemiro? Nobody misbehaves. Everybody will be made to understand that you just don't misbehave when you're playing against United. Because people will be made to feel the sensation in their spines, in their bones. Come on, you go for them. Because now the way the referees are officiating, it is not anything at all that is going to be whistled for. So you hit very good. If you're playing a game of football and you cannot get your opponent to see that or to feel that you are present, then it is better you are not there at all. But having said that, credit must be given to Spurs. They were very, very super. Look, especially in that second half. The boy from Mali, Bissouma, absolutely brilliant.
Looks a totally different player under this coach.
Look, I was always shocked when Antonio Conte never gave him
barely gave him a kick.
Because he's far better than Højbjerg. He passes the ball well. He drives the ball forward.
There's more to his game.
There's more to his game than just receive and pass. Yesterday, look at him. When he, as if he's going to pass, then that is what Amrabat does, isn't it? So United needed somebody to, because from the way he plays, if he draws the opponent onto him, then he picks up Maddison. Maddison too does his thing. Look, I think if they had Harry Kane in their fold, they would have punished United more than 4 goals yesterday in that second half alone. Richarlison will have to set up. If he doesn't set up, I think no wonder I'm hearing that they are talking to Chelsea about Romelu Lukaku. I think if they can get Lukaku too, because look, it is like Richarlison is the only natural number 9 they've got now. They need to bring in somebody to put him under pressure. If he doesn't perform, you relegate him to the bench. This league is going to be so keenly contested.
I feel like this season might even be more competitive than last season.
If you don't do your things well, you will suffer. United, without a doubt, will have to respond in the transfer market this week, because in 2 weeks' time, they are playing Arsenal. You don't want to take this form to the Emirates, and even against Brighton at Old Trafford, you get beat and get beat very, very good.
Well, Richarlison was complaining to Emerson Royal when he was subbed about not having the ball passed to his feet and whatnot. We'll talk about more of that and also that Manchester City Newcastle game. Let's take a break here on Scorecard. We'll be back with more highlights.